Okay, everybody, take a breath and relax. I got something I'm going to say about a minute or so. It's impossible to see two worlds. 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 It is 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 impossible to see two worlds. You need not believe the ideas. You need not accept the ideas. You need not even welcome these ideas. Some of these ideas you may actively resist. Some of these ideas you may actively resist. Some of the ideas you may actively resist. Some of the ideas I present today you may actively resist. You are not asked to judge and analyze the ideas at all. It's if you use the ideas that you will see that the ideas are true. The use of the ideas will give the ideas meaning to you and will show you that the ideas are true. Using the ideas will show you that they are true. There's nobody on the front row with my jacket. I would love to have somebody close to me. Thank you. Y'all begin to make me think I got BO or something. Everybody get as far with me as they can. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. How everybody doing on? How you mothers doing? All right, I'm going to be on the station called "It's Impossible to See Two Worlds." It's lesson 130 in the workbook. And I'm going to go through about 10 minutes of it, and then I'm going to open it up for questions and discussion for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to go through 10 minutes. And to keep me disciplined, I have me a brand new timer. Anybody out there? Yeah. All right, I wonder if I'm supposed to start shoveling dirt in a minute. Jesus Christ. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay. I love the other thrill on everybody's face for being together. So I'm going to read through this paragraph, say some things that probably you might not like, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll go to something else. Okay, the very first thing that it says in this paragraph, lesson 130 in the workbook, in A Course in Miracles. The first sentence is that perception is consistent. What you see reflects your thinking. What you're seeing right now is reflecting your thinking. What you're seeing right this very moment is reflecting your thinking. But your thinking reflects your choice of what you want to see. What you see reflects your thinking, but your thinking reflects your choice of what you want to see. So your choice of what you want to see is your thinking. Your thinking will then create what you see. So what you see is coming from your thinking. And your thinking reflects your choice of what you want to see. That's all the truth that we need to hear. Now, what is it that determines the choices of what you want to see? Your values. Your values determine your choice of what you want to see. Your choice of what you want to see, that's your thinking. And your thinking reflects what you see. So what you value determines what you see. What you value determines what you see. And believing what you see is really there. We believe that what we see is really here. But what you're seeing is what you're valuing. What you're valuing is determining what you choose to see, and that's your thinking. And then that determines what you're looking at. So if there's anything in your life that you'd like to be looking at something different, if you like to be looking at abundance, if you like to be looking at more joy, if you like to be looking at more peace, if you like to be looking at more love, then now you know how to have it.
Can you say that again?
Yes. Perception is consistent. What you see is reflecting your thinking. Your thinking is just what you're choosing to see, and your values are determining what you're looking at. And once you believe it and value it, it'll look like it's really there. So everything you are looking at, perceiving in your life right now is a reflection of your values. So if you're seeing stuff that you like, people that you like, experiences that you love, then there's some part of you that's really valuing your joy right now, that's really valuing you right now. If you're seeing fear, conflict, suspicion, unhappiness, then that is what you're valuing in this moment. So he says, no one can see a world his mind has not accorded value. So you are only seeing the world you value. We are only seeing what we value. We're only seeing what we value. You're only perceiving what you value. So what is it that you are valuing? What you are seeing. In your love life, in your financial life, in your health, in your spiritual awareness, all you're seeing is what you value. So when people say they don't know what they believe and they don't know what they think, what do you have to do? Just look. I know I don't value a late model car. Because I don't have one. I know I value studio apartment. I have one. I know I value Course in Miracles because my life is surrounded with things that reflect it back to me. I don't have to go any further than my personal life to know what I value. So now you do too, right? Okay. So if you're miserable right now, you value misery. If you're really feeling chilled out, cool, that's in this moment, that's what you're valuing. So no one looks, he says, and no one can fail to look upon what they believe they want. So you're going to always see what you believe you want. You're going to always see what you believe you want. You're going to always see what you believe you want. You're going to always see what you believe you want. You're going to always see what you believe you want. So what you're seeing is what you believe you want. Yes, but. Yes, but. Yes, but. Yes, but. Yes, but. Is that pretty much covered it for everybody? Yes, but. Okay, now, first paragraph. Questions, comments, discussion about what the first paragraph said.
We value Earl because we see you.
With lots of enthusiasm. I feel entirely valued. I really feel valued. I want you to know that. I truly do. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Anybody else? Who can really hate and love at once? Who can desire anything that they don't want to see have reality? How can you desire something that you don't want to see become real? And who can choose to see a world that they are afraid of? If you are afraid of love, then how can you choose to see a world that you're loved in? And when you're afraid, it makes you blind. Fear makes you blind. So wherever you are afraid, that's where you're least seeing what's truly going on. Wherever you're afraid, that's where your perception is the most distorted. Now, what you fear to see, you cannot see. He says that is fear's weapon. That which you fear to see, you can't see. If you're afraid of abundance, you won't see it. If you're afraid of success in your perception of yourself, you won't see it. If you're afraid of connection, friendship, openness, anything you're afraid of, he says, you can't see it. So an interesting way a person could look at that would mean what you're seeing is, in a sense, what you're not afraid of. You see poverty, you're not afraid to be poor. You see loneliness, you're not afraid to be alone. You see failure, you're not afraid of failure. Because what did it say? That which you fear to see, you cannot see. So another way to look at that would be what I'm looking at, even though I might think I'm afraid of it, actually what I'm looking at is what I'm not afraid of. I'm not afraid to have the car I have, the house I have, the friends I have, the clothes I have, the spiritual awareness I have. But actually what I'm seeing is what I'm not afraid to have. What you're seeing is what you're not afraid to have. You're not afraid to have lack if you think you have lack. You're not afraid to be lonely if you think you're lonely. Whatever you are experiencing is what you're not afraid to see. These are just ways to look at it that would kind of pique your curiosity a little bit. He says, love and perception go hand in hand, but fear hides the love, and fear keeps you from seeing what you really want to see, but what you see is not what you're afraid of. Okay, any questions about that paragraph? Did you even know what I said? Did you even hear what I said? So I had to have a question if you didn't hear it.
I think I heard what you said.
Okay, what I said was what? Anybody? What did I say about fear?
What you see
What you
is what you're not afraid of.
Yeah, you're seeing what you're not afraid of.
Right.
Fear actually makes you blind to love, but it's not making you blind to what you're not afraid to see. So love and perception go hand in hand, but fear hides what's really there. If I'm afraid of you all, then I won't see the love and the connection and the union that we could have with each other. Sometimes when people come into classes, especially if it's the first time, it's normal to be defensive, protected, and because we are taught that we should approach our life as if we should always be afraid of what's going to happen. That's actually the way we're taught. That you should walk out of the door every day defended against all the bad things that might happen to you. And then what you defend against, you create for yourself. Because your defense against it means you really think it's there. So the person who walks out the door in the morning believing that the world might hurt them is a person who's much more likely to experience pain than a person who walks out of the door with the belief that the world is one with them. Yes?
So if they're afraid of being hurt, then they would see the potential for hurt. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're on the lookout for it.
Right.
Because they value it. See, valuing something doesn't necessarily mean you like it.
Okay.
So sometimes when we hear the word value, people naturally feel that means, oh, I like it. No, I can value attack, but that doesn't mean that I like the idea of being attacked, but I give that idea power. Mm-hmm. And in giving it power, I'm giving it value.
So the value is the belief in it.
The value is the belief in it, not necessarily how I feel about it. Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So if I don't have something I think I want, it means I'm afraid of it.
Right.
Okay.
If you don't perceive it, then that's what it is that you have fear to see. Because there's only love or fear. Okay. So all I have to do is lose my fear of seeing it, and then I will begin to see it. Yes.
If I am not afraid of the IRS, will they go away?
No.
Why not? Why not?
They won't go away because you're not really afraid of the IRS. That's why they're there.
Ah. So then what do I want to be? Scared of them?
No, what you want to do is love them.
Okay.
My definition for the acronym of IRS is innocent releasing spirit. Whenever I think IRS, I put the innocent releasing spirit.
Huh.
It's a lot, you create acronyms for things that frighten you. Because it's a great example. The IRS is neutral.
Mm-hmm.
It's neither good nor bad. It's the way that you are seeing it and the way that you are valuing it that's determining how you're experiencing it. See them as an enemy, they'll look like they're an enemy. And think about this too. If you're afraid of it, then your perception is going to be distorted, which means you're much more likely to make some kind of error around the IRS because of your fear, which creates a challenge which validates your fear of the IRS. Because I really wouldn't have any fear of the IRS if I was doing what I was supposed to do the way I was supposed to do it. So actually, I'm the one that's creating the problem with the IRS, not them. Why did you have to bring that up? And I'd say sit on the front row.
You asked for it.
I remember that the next time something's troubling you. That's going to be my answer to you, okay? Yeah.
But if I'm sitting here and I'm afraid of the IRS, and I'm all stressed out, and I'm thinking I'm afraid of the IRS, that's not really what I'm afraid of, right? There's something else behind it.
Right. You're really upset. The Course, which is great, because the Course in Miracles says that you're really upset because you're seeing something that is not there. Because really the IRS isn't sitting here right now. Right? So if I'm afraid of the IRS, I'm really afraid about something that's not really here. And also it says that it also means you're afraid because you're only seeing your past learnings and past experiences related to that. So if I'm afraid, I'm bringing some type of learning to this moment that I'm using to make me feel afraid. Some type of experience from the past or projected into the future that I'm bringing into this moment. That's why I'm afraid. I'm afraid because of what I'm telling myself right now. That's really why I'm afraid. The thing I'm afraid about is neutral. Everything in the world is neutral. I have had people, when my brother made his transition called death, I was glad. because his body was so ravished and he was in such pain that I didn't want him to stay in it any longer than he had to. So death in and of itself is not a bad thing. It's a transition, right? So that's the way it is with everything in the world. I don't care what it is in the world, it's neutral. Then we decide how we want to look at it. For ISIS, if most Americans got wiped out, they would think that was a good thing. So our death would not be anything anybody would be feeling bad about. They'd be partying like a big dog. Okay. But the same thing is true about America in most cases toward ISIS. You don't cry when someone said ISIS rebel was wiped out. You don't go, oh my God, how horrible. No. But then we feel completely mad if they take that attitude toward us. When we take the attitude, we're self-righteous. When they take the attitude, then they're horrible beings. What's the difference? I want to kill them for my happiness. They want to kill us for theirs. Will you please tell me what the difference is?
Yes.
Yes, what is the
The
difference?
difference is that they have an agenda of killing and
what does that?
torturing.
And
And
what is our
America is just
military?
it's almost like retaliating. It's not being happy to kill them. I'm sure nobody will touch them if they wouldn't start what they did.
What I'm saying is, in this moment, the same thing is happening. They are attacking us, and we are attacking them, and the values that we have are determining what we're seeing in each other. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The rest of it is our story.
Yeah.
And they feel just as righteous, just like you felt very righteous saying that. I guarantee you, they feel just as righteous saying the same thing. We're not different.
Yeah.
We have our righteous reason for feeling like it's okay to attack, even if we say it's because they attacked first. But then they would say the same thing. They would say we attacked first.
Right.
We over in their land.
Right.
We were dropping bombs on them. My point is, the point is not anything about ISIS and who's right. The point is, we are experiencing and seeing what we value, and what we value is determining what we see. That's the point. And so if there's something that you'd like to see in your life, all you have to do is love it and value it, and you'll see it. Okay?
So we're going to be right and happy.
Most people would rather be right than happy. That's why we defend. Whenever we defend, it's because we want to be right in our point of view. So we'll miss the real point. Like, the real point is this. Let me share the real point of everything I'm saying before our ego takes us off. It's got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Okay? What I'm talking about is whatever you see is determined by your choice, and your choice is determined by what you value. So if you want to see something different in your life, it's time to start valuing truly that which you want to see and that which you love. That's the point. The rest of it is the story we add to it. So, yeah, you get your hand up first.
Well, I was just thinking, okay, say like you are ISIS, and there are bombs going off.
Let's forget about ISIS.
Yeah,
let's completely forget about ISIS,
Okay.
because ISIS is being used to let go of the point.
Okay.
Okay. The point is that perception is consistent. You're going to see what you choose to see, and what you choose to see is going to come from what you value. That's the real point.
Okay.
And that's true in any situation, including ISIS, anything else. People who choose to see all policemen as bad will see police that appear to be bad. And even if they're a good policeman, they won't even see the good policeman, because in their mind, all policemen are bad. A policeman that feels anybody that's black has a worthless life, that it's okay to take out, is going to see blacks that they always feel like are worthless and they need to take out. We'll get distracted about the race or the police, but the truth is saying, I want you to know that what you're seeing is what you're valuing, and what you're valuing is determined by the choices that you make of what you want to see. So therefore, start to value the world you want to see. So all attention should be on what is it that I value, and how much do I value it, and how much will I focus on what I value so that I can see it in my perception. All right, got 2 more minutes. Yes.
So if everything we see is what we value, but we value it because we fear it or we love it, then what's left?
There is nothing left.
Okay.
There's either fear or love that you're seeing, either peace or conflict. And the Course in Miracles teaches that. We say, well, why do we see both of them? He says the reason why we see both of them is because we believe in both of them. I believe I can love you and I can hate you. I can love you and I can feel anger at you. Since I believe I can see both of them, but the truth is, I can only see one at a time. I'm never seeing both worlds at the same time. I'm either looking at you through some type of peace or I'm looking at you through some type of fear or conflict. And I do it so fast and so much that it looks like people are always changing around me. But I don't realize what's changing is the way that I'm seeing what's going on. That's what's really happening. All right, one more minute.
Okay, I got one.
Sure.
Now you saying value is what you need to look at?
Yeah, that you will see what you value.
Okay, and so if I'm looking at value, then that's what I'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what if I'm looking at that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just in my little circle.
Right.
But the other circle that's outside of that, if it's not the same value, and it's like, it's not there, that's where I'm getting lost at, because
Okay.
I'm looking, I want
Okay.
the positive and all the good value, but all that other is out there, and that's where I'm having my issue with.
Right, and that's why, and that's
the fight right there.
And what the other people are showing
That's
you,
where I'm at.
they are also showing you what you value somewhere in your mind, but you don't realize it. See, we're not conscious of everything that we believe all the time. So most people think that they believe what they're conscious of in the moment. But what we're learning is that we have more unconscious beliefs than we do conscious beliefs.
Yeah.
And everybody around me, they're getting me in touch with the things that I value,
Right.
or I wouldn't be in a world where I was seeing it. And the reason why nothing gets healed, so it seems, is because everybody projects on somebody else that they're the ones that value this, but I don't. One of the main reasons where in the dream it appears like there are problems between races is because nobody's racist. Everybody's not racist. And that's why the racial divide never gets healed, because it's different. I can only I go to a doctor because I know I got a stomach ache. Then I have to admit I got a stomach ache and I need to go to the doctor. But as long as I keep denying that I got the stomach ache, I can't get it healed until it gets to a really bad. So as long as we keep saying we possess qualities and beliefs that we don't see being reflected around us, then we'll stay in the same situation that we're in. So it's not until I say there's a part of my mind that obviously is racist because I see racism, then I won't ever get rid of my racism. But as long as I say I have none and you do, and you need to change and not me, then I'm always keeping a solution to everything outside of myself where it can't be solved. And by the way, y'all, even though the temptation is to defend that view, I'd like to ask you one question. How has that served you so far? I mean, you want to stick to the way the world looks at it, which is basically it's everybody else's fault and everybody else needs to change. That's what you've been hearing all your life.
Right.
So if you take that attitude, you're not changing anything. You're not no more conscious of anything else. And so nothing shifts. But think about how the mind is trying to focus on all the reasons why what I said is wrong. Check that out. How the mind goes straight to what is the flaws in what you just said. Rather than going to, my goodness, if I really want to experience my abundance, all I have to do is start to really value love, value the truth. And if I really value it and focus on it and truly value it and focus on it and truly value it, then that will eventually be what I perceive in my world. That's the way that you would look at what I'm saying if you really wanted to change what's making you unhappy. If you want to keep what's making you unhappy, then the temptation will be to defend the point of view that you already have that's giving you the result that you don't like already. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to immediately start to think about anybody else needing to change except you. Don't worry about everybody else. Don't worry about ISIS. go, I'm going to focus on what I want to value and what I want to perceive in my experience. Suppose everybody in this room made that decision. Think how much change would happen just in this room if every individual person in this room decided to value love. Then we would get that outer experience that we would like to see everybody else have, because we would all be doing our individual part. The biggest trick is to worry about what somebody else is going to do and not to do what you know you could do to change your experience. That's the way everybody does it, doesn't want to change. Okay, so let's go to the next one. All right. So, what then can fear project upon the world? What can be seen in darkness that is real? Truth is eclipsed by fear, and what remains is but imagined. So when I'm afraid, I don't see the truth, and since you don't see the truth, you just start making up stuff. So when you don't know the truth, you just start imagining things. He says, yet what can be real that's coming from blind imaginings that are being born out of your panic? So if you got a bunch of panic, then you're imagining things that don't really have any real truth. Just be with that for a minute. Then it says, what would you want that you want this being shown? What would a person want that would make continual panic and upset be the thing that they want to see? What would you wish to keep if you were in a reality or a dream that was nothing but panic and fear? So why do we want to stay in a perception of reality that has panic and fear in it, broken in two by periods in which we go to movies that we like? Good question. Good question. See, I'm one of these people that look at the whole thing, not just the part I like. I look at the whole picture. Like, what am I doing in a world where anything can happen to me at any time, so it seems? What am I doing in a world where people act like they're strangers to each other and afraid of each other? What am I doing in a world where people only treat kind people who are special to them, and all the rest of them, they don't really care about what happens to them? What am I doing in a world that it looks like I'm born, got to try to make it on my own, and then appear to die? What am I doing in a world where it looks like you lose the people that you love? What am I doing in a world like that? What am I doing in a world that people wouldn't want you to have health care if you didn't have money? What am I doing in that world that cold? That's cold. So the Course in Miracles and Truth books are saying, ask yourself those kind of questions. Why in the heck am I in a world where I'm afraid? I don't expect you to answer it. Now, this is really deep. It says, fear has made everything you think you see. Fear has made everything you think you see. All the separation we see between us is coming from fear. All the distinctions that we see between us is coming from fear. All the multitude of differences that we believe make up the whole world, he says, they're really not there. We are really not different. We are really not separate. We really are one. So fear made it up. He says love's enemy has made it up. Yet love can have no enemy, and so your fear really has no cause, no being, and no consequence. You can value the things that make you afraid, but it still is unreal. You can value the idea that I don't like you, that you're making up in your own mind, but that still doesn't make it true. Just because you're valuing the way you're looking at certain people in your life right now does not mean that it's true. Now, you can seek it out, but really it can't be found. So today, we will not seek for what makes you afraid. We're not going to waste this day in seeking what can't be found. And what can't be found is really anything that can truly hurt who you really are. Who you truly are. So this is a trip about teaching the Course in Miracles in any true book. Yeah, I can sit up here and talk about how you can have your soulmate. Yeah, I can spend an hour trying to tell you how you can make the money that you want to make so that you can be happy. Yeah, I can talk about all that stuff, but none of it would be helpful, because unless we understand who we really are, we're not going to see any kind of change in our life that makes any real difference. And what we really are, we are love, and you are love, and all you deserve is love. And what the Course in Miracles is doing is trying to show us what keeps us unaware of that love, what keeps us from feeling it, what keeps us from experiencing it. That's the beauty of it. And so you have a part of you that is so awesome and so beautiful that there is nothing that you can think, do, feel, or wish can affect what you really are. Can you believe you're something other than that? Yes. And if you value something other than that, that will be what you see, that will be what you experience, that will be what you have in your life. So what you're seeing in your life, if you're seeing anything other than love and joy and happiness, is what you're evaluating other than love and joy and happiness.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in a particularly good mood right now and you think everything's going great and everything's wow, then classes like this are downers to you. Because right now, temporarily, things seem to be going the way you want them to go, so therefore you're saying you're happy. In most cases, when people say they're happy, all they're saying is the script that they've written for everything seems to be going the way they want it to go, which isn't real happiness. So if you're really happy now because it looks like, you got the kind of job you got, the kind of people you want, the kind of physical experiences you want, that is not real happiness, because that's based on something happening external to you, the way that you want it to happen, so now you're happy today. So then this is a downer. Okay, but if you're in pain and you know you don't want to be in pain, then you're listening to this with a different perception. You're going like, okay, I need to hear this because this is what I'm feeling right now. So don't let your happiness fool you, because your happiness can fool you as much as your sadness if your happiness is based on something that's happening outside of yourself. So that doesn't mean you're enlightened just because you're feeling good today because you had some things that you imagined and fantasized about going the way you want it to go. When you're truly happy, there's nothing that can happen that will make you lose it. Nothing. You could get laid off, you could get sick, you could tell you got cancer, you got 3 weeks to live. A truly happy person wouldn't be sad about it.
Amen.
A truly happy person cannot be made sad about anything. A person who doesn't know what true happiness is, their happiness goes up and down according to what appears to be happening around them. So don't fool yourself about real happiness and fake happiness. Fake happiness is, I have a fantasy, and it's happening. Okay, that's fake happiness. I want to go to Hawaii, somebody gave me a trip to Hawaii, whee! Okay, then you're trying to tell me if you had not got the trip to Hawaii, you would have been sad. Then that's not real happiness. Real happiness is, I got a trip to Hawaii, whee! I didn't get a trip to Hawaii, whee! Real happiness, boy, I'm healthy. Real happiness, God, I heard I had 6 months to live. Wow. I'm getting ready to go to the next level that we go to in our evolutionary development. God, wow. God, I just 3 more months in the physical plane. Wow, let me see what's my bucket list? You know what I'm saying? You be like happy. Now, I know it's inconceivable to those of us who believe we're bodies. Because those of us who believe we're bodies believe that without the body we cease to exist. So anybody that says anything that's a threat to the body, we freaked out because we think we are bodies. Beings that know they're spiritual beings who only have a body to experience this plane, then they know that they've done and discarded more bodies than they care to remember. So they get no more upset about dropping a body than you would an old shirt that you no longer want to wear anymore. But if the shirt is you freaking out. And you still have the same shirt 30 years later. Like I see on some of my pictures. Okay. I wore that shirt to class last week. This is a picture in 1995. I do. I look at my old pictures and I go, I just wore that shirt to class. I keep my clothes so long they come back round in style. And then people go, oh, that's a hot shirt. Yeah, I told my grandchild that too. All right, any questions about that? Yes.
I'm struggling with how do I fix something that I know is wrong, and I don't know how to fix it, and if I can illustrate that if you like. I recently moved out of a basement apartment that I really kind of liked, but my landlord didn't renew my lease, and I was a little bit butthurt about that for a while. and I got into a new place, and I found out yesterday that the basement is all flooded now. And there's a part of me that says, yeah, you got what you deserve. But he didn't, you know? So I'm kind of, I don't know, in my self-righteous indignation, I'm kind of glad that he's got problems, but I'm really not, but I am. You know what I mean?
And so it doesn't change. What you're seeing in that situation is reflecting your values. Period. And what you're seeing is what you value. So also what you just described, exactly the way you just described it, is what you're valuing. And so you're seeing exactly what you're valuing. You're valuing fear, conflict, and separation over peace and unity and love. So when I say what you're valuing, I'm talking about whether you're valuing love and peace in that situation, or whether you're valuing fear and conflict in that situation. The physical situation about the apartment is neutral. It's neither good nor bad. If you get moved out of your apartment, then there is a greater good in store for you for being moved out of your apartment. Being moved out of your apartment was the best thing that could have ever happened to you, because the universe only wants your joy, your happiness, your expansion, and your growth. It is what you're valuing, which was staying in the apartment, that's what's causing the conflict that you're experiencing right now. The value that you're placing on it is what's determining your feelings right now. So if you change the way you looked at it and went, I don't really perceive my own best interest. Me leaving out of this apartment may be the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. It's a blessing because I turned my life over to the higher power. Then all of the frustration about the move wouldn't be there. So really the frustration is coming from the way you're looking at the move that you had to make. And the fact that the apartment got flooded and a part of you is kind of happy about that, that means that's just me valuing feeling good about the apartment flooding.
And I feel bad about that.
Right. And that's just what you're choosing to value. Does everybody follow me on this? Because it's true in every situation in your life that there aren't but two things you can value. Remember what it says, it's impossible to see two worlds. So either I'm going to see a world of peace and love, or I'm going to see a world where it looks like there's something to be afraid of. The only thing that's keeping me from seeing a world of peace and love all the time is that the beliefs and the values that I have. So my belief and value says, if I had to move out of my apartment, I'm going to choose to believe that I'm sustained by the love of God, that the universe is making any move that's happening in my life for my own best interest, and have the attitude that there's something even better coming my way, because that's the nature of love and that's the way it is. So then I would be looking at that situation in total peace, while somebody else would be looking at that situation and freaking out. I'm valuing my peace, they're valuing their fear and conflict. So they're going to look at it in a way that makes them feel depressed about it. So don't pretend you don't feel depressed about it. Just know that if I do feel depressed about something, that's the meaning that I'm giving it, and I can give it another meaning that changes my mind about it. See, when I talk hardcore truth like this, it makes people go to sleep. I can count on it. And I don't care. I'm still going to talk this way, even if everybody passes out and never comes to the class again. You know why? Because I want to go to another level of consciousness. And if it means me being by myself doing it before I draw people who really want to get serious about changing, then I'm willing to be by myself until I make that change. Because it's important for me right now in my personal life to take my life to allow it to go to a whole nother level. And it can't go to a whole nother level that we keep dealing on superficial levels. And the superficial level is, I just want to hear what I just want to hear. And what makes me feel good. So Purdy, if you ain't saying what makes me feel good, I'm not going to be here. But people don't grow until they hear also the stuff that makes them feel uncomfortable and the stuff that feels good. You follow me on that?
Yes.
You know, if everybody's got to keep you feeling good all the time, that doesn't mean you're going to grow or you're going to change or you're going to get past any block you're going to. But if you challenge yourself and go, wow, the truth is, wow, this is showing me that I'm valuing some things that I need to stop valuing so that I can start to see the things that I really want to see. And it's much easier for me to change my way of seeing than to change anybody else's way of seeing. So I'm going to go the easy path. And the easy path is me going, Earl, what you're valuing is determining what you're seeing, and that's a reflection of what you want to see. And right now you're seeing a lot of chaos, which is letting you know you have some fearful values about yourself that need to be changed. And all you need to do is recognize that no matter what you're believing right now, you are still loved, you are still loved, you still have guidance, you're not on your own, and there's a way out of it if I'm willing to open my mind up to another way to look at it, and I don't need to be right more than I need to be happy right now. So I'm willing to admit in the situation that I'm most upset in that I don't recognize my own best interest in this situation, and I need another way to look at it right now. That's the process that opens us up to the answer that'll transform our experience. And studying the hell out of this stuff so that I'll know what to tell myself to change. So there's no amount of classes that I can possibly do that's going to change you if you're not doing any personal work on yourself. The best I can do is support you. But if you know you don't study, you know you don't study, you know you don't read, you know you're not listening to the truth, then you know you're valuing everything else but that. So therefore you see everything else but what the truth is saying. Those of you who are studying the truth, that are working on personal growth, that are doing your studying and really applying it, you are the people that know that it works. You're the people who are beginning to see the results, even though you still have some glitches because you haven't completely accepted it 100%. But you see enough love and change in your life that it keeps you motivated, not only motivated, but motivated enough to continue to look at your blocks. That will make you want to say, I'm going to go deeper into finding out the rest of the blocks that I need to let go of. And those of you who made the decision that it's impossible to see two worlds, and you decided you're going to see a world of love, you get the entire universe. You get beings visible and invisible that start to support you and help you in that transformation. If you refuse to start focusing on the truth, you have to do that alone. Why? Because all of our invisible help is not going to help you think you're on your own and that you have to do it on your own. Does that make sense? If the problem is we think we're alone and on our own and we are disregarding the higher power and we're not really healing our relationship with God, then if you look for something outside of yourself to make you happy and the universe help you have something outside of yourself to make you happy, it would actually be supporting the idea that your happiness is outside of yourself. So every time you think your happiness is based on something outside of yourself, you may create it, you may make it, but it won't last because nothing is backing up the idea that your happiness happens through something outside of yourself. That's why we try so hard to get people to follow our rules to make us happy. Is that thing I'm saying making sense to everybody?
Yes.
If you're praying for something, but you really think that thing is going to make you happy, then that premise in itself is opposite to the truth. That very premise. The minute you go, if I get her, I'll be happy. The universe is not going to help me get her, so I'll be happy. I'm going to get that job so I can be happy. The universe is not going to help you get that job, so I got to have money. No. Because your happiness comes from God. Your happiness comes from within. Your happiness comes from your link to spirit and your link to source, which is really the kind of solution that our Creator would create, that our happiness comes from something we can have all the time because it's in us all the time. We're the ones who are so not loving to ourselves that we assign our happiness to everything outside of ourselves that we seem to have no control over. So which way really is the easier way? To have my happiness be not dependent on you, or to have my happiness be dependent on you? So the universe is not going to help you make yourself unhappy. And every time you believe your happiness is outside of yourself, Earl, then you're denying yourself the happiness you could have right now. And the trip is, until you make that commitment to your happiness from within, you'll be surrounded by people who are reinforcing the idea that your happiness comes from outside of yourself. Because they'll be acting like what you're doing is making them unhappy. If I say you make me happy, then I further increase the wrong belief that my happiness comes from something else. Even if you're doing it and it seems like you want to do it. That's the trickiest way of all. Because we'll say to each other, I want to make you happy. I'll do whatever it takes to make you happy. I really want to please you. That's beautiful. As long as I don't believe my happiness depends on you doing that, then when you do that, I can be appreciative and say thank you and say, wow, I can't believe that's wonderful that you did what you did for me. Thank you for doing that. But I'm also not going to forget that if you ain't done a damn thing, I can still be happy. You follow me? So the people who appear to do what you want them to do can as much be a part of the deception that keeps you from being happy as the people who seem like they never do what you want them to do. If you believe that your happiness came from what they did. That's deep. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, when you don't need it, because you are internally sufficient, this is the trippy part. Like now that I really release people and I don't hold them responsible for my joy, I've never seen people do more things that were more loving and that brought me more happiness than anything in my life. Because I don't look at them as being responsible for it. So as soon as I started doing that, I started to notice that love was coming at me from everywhere. And it's hard to explain to people because we are programmed from day one to believe that it's about something or somebody outside of ourselves is supposed to act a certain way so that we'll feel good. So I'm lonely. I can't spend 2 weeks by myself or I'm tripping out because I need somebody to make me feel, unless a body is with me. I know people can't spend any time by themselves. It freaks them out. They got to have somebody to help them forget what they think about themselves all the time. Because that's what most people use relationships for. Just a way to forget how they feel about themselves for a while. I didn't love me. I felt insecure. I didn't feel significant. I didn't feel valuable. And now you are here. And you're telling me how wonderful I am, and how much you love me, and how valuable I am, and how much you appreciate me. See, now I'm temporarily forgetting what I was telling myself before I met you. I haven't changed my mind about myself, right? You are just helping me forget how I feel about myself temporarily. Because after a while, since I don't love myself like I should, I'm going to start projecting onto you that you are doing some things that please me, that keep me from loving myself. You follow me? And then I really get upset with you and disillusioned with you because you were supposed to be helping me forget how much I don't love myself. And now you helping me feel like I'm not loved too because you're not treating me the way I should be treated. That's the game, y'all. But a person who would be happy if they never had another body with them would be surrounded by so many bodies that want to be with them that their biggest issue is how can I get around to spending time with all the people who want to spend time with me? Why? Because I don't care if I spend time with none of them. And so I'm happy if they're here, and I'm happy if I'm not, and then I'll see a world that reflects love back to me. Why? Because I'm not holding grievances against anybody, because nobody's disappointed me, because I'm not holding anybody else responsible for my happiness. So there's nobody to disappoint me, because I have no expectations of you, then you can't disappoint me. Since I have no expectations of you, you can't disappoint me. Since I have no expectations of you, you can't hurt me. Since I have no expectations of you, you can't hurt me. So I can see a loving world all the time, because I'm not the one that's projecting my anger out on it. So let me stop before heads explode. But y'all stop right now. Just make yourself. Be with that for a minute. I'm gonna bring my wire cage next week. I can tell you. Some of the looks I saw was kind of scary. You know what I'm saying? I saw some faces today, buddy. Okay, let's do the financial expression of appreciation. I appreciate y'all. Isn't it great to know that I see you as innocent, whether you're here or not, whether you act out my script or not? That's what you want. That's what you want. So thank you for sharing with me. Those of you watching online, thank you for sharing with me in my full-time ministry with the Course in Miracles. If you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation, go to my website, earlpurdy.com. Here you go, brother. I'm also available for one-on-one sessions called Clarity Sessions that I use all these metaphysical principles from A Course in Miracles, as well as for those who are interested. I've been an astrologer and numerologist for years, and it's just another way for spirit to communicate. So there are other ways to look at what you're going through. Go to my website, it explains it totally. Brothers and sisters, I'd like to remind you that repetition is how you get to the point that you implant new values and new ideas. It's through repetition. Through not always trying to amass new information, but remembering what you've already heard so much that the next time something happens, it comes up as your instant response to what's going on because you program yourself. This is mind training. I can't think the way I've always thought and get a different result. And if you're wondering what you value, it's what you're seeing. And if you're seeing something you don't like, then you just have to change your perception of it, and then the physical reality and your perception of the physical reality will shift. No matter what it is you think you're going through. The area that looks like it's the slowest to change is the area where you are valuing whatever you're valuing so much that you're not letting it change. If you're a person that's completely suspicious of relationships, then that value will continue to make it look like you're seeing your pattern. Whatever area of your life that it looks like the changes happen the slowest in, that's the area where you value whatever is happening the most. So if it looks like you've always got a financial problem, then you value the idea of lack the most. Right now, in this moment. And guess what? And this is a good one. There's a part of you that actually loves you so much, and there's a part of you that values your abundance and your love. And if you put that part of you in charge, which the Course calls the Holy Spirit, then that part of you will start to manifest what you love for you. You could have it manifested for you by the part of you that already loves you, rather than spending all day long trying to change the part of you don't love into something you love. The part of you that you don't like, don't spend all day trying to change it. What you want to do is learn how to give your life up to the part of you that already loves you, called the Holy Spirit, your divine self. That's the easy way. There's a part of you that already knows all of this. There's a part of you that's already mastered all of this. There's a part of you that knows you're totally innocent. There's a part of you that knows you deserve all the love and abundance and joy that you heard me talk about today. There's a part of you that already knows you deserve it. Our job is to get rid of the blocks that keep us from letting that part work. Close your eyes now. Just relax. Tuesday night will be the way of mastery. It is impossible to see two worlds. Let us accept the strength of God that God offers us. I'll say it again. Let us accept the strength God offers us. Tell yourself, let me accept the strength God offers me. Let me accept the strength God offers me. Let me accept the strength God offers me. And see no value in this world, this fearful world. Let me see no value in this world. That means the fearful world. That I may find my freedom and deliverance. Now I'm going to say it. It is impossible to see two worlds. Let me accept the strength God offers me and see no value in this world. That I may find my freedom and deliverance. That I may find my freedom and deliverance. It's impossible to see two worlds, a loving world or a fearful world at the same time. Would you let the strength that your Creator offers you, would you accept the strength and the power that the truth is saying you have? Will you accept the strength and the power that the truth is saying that you have? Would you accept the strength and the power that God is saying that you have? Would you accept that you are not weak? Would you accept that you are powerful? Would you accept that you are strong? Would you accept that you are deserving of love? Would you accept that you are deserving of abundance and freedom? Would you accept that you deserve happiness and joy? Let you accept the truth God offers you. And see no value in being afraid. See no value in anger and attack. See no value in being separate from your source and separate from each other. If you do that, you're going to find your freedom and deliverance. Woo! I love it. It's time to accept your freedom and deliverance. Your freedom is your deliverance. Your freedom is your deliverance. Your freedom is your deliverance. So if there's an area of your life that's presenting you with fear right now, if there's any area in your life that you're feeling any kind of conflict in right now, just say, decide for me, Holy Spirit. That's your divine self. Decide for me, decide for me, decide for me. God, decide for me, decide for me, love, decide for me, universe, decide for me, God, decide for us, decide for me. Ask the part of you to decide for you. Ask the part of you to decide for you that loves you. Ask the part of you that's divine to decide for you. Ask the part of you that knows the truth. And there is a part of you that knows the truth, that knows everything that we're studying, that's already a master at it. Ask that part of you to be in charge right now. This holy instant will we give to you. Be you in charge, but we would follow you, certain that your direction gives us peace. There's a part of you that already knows this. There's a part of you that already knows this. There's a part of you that already loves you completely. There's a part of you that's infinitely powerful. There's a part of you that creates its reality and knows it. There's a part of you that knows its connection to source. There's a part of you that knows everything that we're studying. There's a part of you that knows that it's sinless, guiltless, and innocent. There's a part of you that knows that it is wealthy and abundant. There's a part of you that knows there is no lack. There's a part of you that knows you only deserve safety and security. There's a part of you that knows that you live forever, that you're not just a physical body. Put that part of you in charge of your life right now. Put that part of you in charge of your life right now. And stop listening to the guidance of the part of you that's afraid. Stop listening to the guidance to the part of you that don't know what the hell is going on. Stop listening to the part of you that questions and that's suspicious and doesn't trust. Don't let that part of you be your guide anymore. Don't listen to what that part of you has to say anymore. Give it to your higher self, your greater self, your real self. The part of you that knows that you deserve love. May the course be with you. I appreciate y'all. Come, give it to yourselves for making yourself here. Give it to the part of you that loves you, that you're trying to put in charge. That's right. Give it to the part of you that knows you deserve everything, not the part of you that doubts everything. Hugs are available. Thank you for letting yourself hear some things that may not have always been comfortable, because that's how you know you're growing.